There's a spell checker that you can check your spelling. Click the spell checker. It brings up all the text, and if there was anything misspelled, it would be in red. But we didn't. Let's misspell something. Let's say get ripped. There we go. Now let's try to spell check that. Up, there we go. And there's ripped. We click on the red underlined, and it's saying change the word to, well, it doesn't seem to, oh, it has lots of different choices here. Let's see. Ripped is the first one. Let's go ahead and change that. Let's hit apply. And then, oh, it fixed it right there for us. Okay, great. Undo, redo, self-explanatory. HTML. Now, if you've got some HTML background and you would like to, you can click the HTML button and it will bring up that text container's HTML code, which you can then make your changes right here. You've got a little more flexibility to make some more customized changes if you use the HTML here. However, just be aware that if you make a mistake and it breaks your site, you can definitely give us a call. We'll help you through it, but we don't have a lot of tutorials about how to use the HTML. I'm going to cancel that. One thing I'm going to just tell you at this point, we'll click Save. Now, let's say that you did use the HTML or you did something and you didn't like it and you wanted to go back to what you started with. This green arrow and all the different containers will bring you back to the default settings. So now you see it brought us back to Thanks for Your Business. So if you make a mistake, rest assured you can get back to where you started. All right, let's just look at what else we have. In addition to changing the font and the color, we can also, the font and the size, we can also change the color. That same color wheel gets brought up. Okay, now we changed it to red. You can also highlight it. So let's say you wanted to highlight it something. Most people like to use yellow. We'll highlight it in yellow. You can also link this to something. So we wanted to link this to Fusion Gym as well and use that as a way to link to the website. We can link it. We change our minds. We can simply, oh, first we have to highlight it. And then we simply click the unlink. Looks like it worked automatically. So we just click the unlink and it's automatically unlinked. Now, one of my favorite tools is the Facebook like link. And we mentioned that if you watch the My Account page, where you could actually put your Facebook page address in there. Let's say we didn't want to have the phone number at all in there, or actually even the website. Let's just say we wanted to have the text, and then below it we wanted to say, like us on Facebook. And we're going to not italicize that. And we're going to add a Facebook like link. And it puts in the variable right there. We click the disk, and it puts in the Facebook like link right there. And as long as you have your Facebook page put in on the My Account page, when your customer gets to this page and clicks the Facebook like link, they will be liking your Facebook page, which is really cool. Okay, so that's the welcome page. Now there's one thing in the text editing tools that we did not use, and that's because it really isn't appropriate on the welcome page. So let's move over to the sharing page. Because the sharing page, by the time, actually, let me take that back. We're going to go back and we're going to actually go to the customer sign up page. Forgive my haste there. The customer sign up page is the page that the customer gets to, that they actually sign up and they create an account for themselves so that they can start using the system. And we're just going to preview it because we're not going to go through each and every section because it works exactly the same way. But just to get an idea of what's going to happen next. The customer's going to come in, they're going to fill out the information. If you don't use the custom form fields feature, then it just has this information. This is what gets defaulted. And when they get to the next page, that's when they're actually going to do their sharing. But you get to customize this page just as you did the welcome page. If you do use Facebook quite a bit, there is a template that you can select on the customer sign up page that allows you to put the Facebook Faces widget. Now, the only template design that you can do that in is in template 2, which has the yellow sides. But let's go ahead and scroll down. And let's choose that template and let's customize it so that you can see how that works. So over here where there's actually a text area in the other templates, this is where you can place the Facebook Faces widget. What you do is click the pencil, click on Edit Facebook Widget. If you haven't already done so, put in your Facebook URL. Now, I will tell you that it is a little tricky. If you put your Facebook URL in incorrectly, it will return back an error message saying that it could not connect. So if you get that error message for any reason, just go ahead and check and make sure that you didn't put .com at the end of your domain, or you have the facebook.com at the beginning and you have everything spelled correctly. Then make your selections. Click the arrow and I'll show you what each of these selections mean. So color scheme, light or dark, whether or not you want to show the faces of the people that are liking your page. Do you want to stream in the posts and the header? Okay, we're going to go ahead and click select yes on each one of those. Click the save button. And when the box expands, again, this is a little tricky. When the box expands, that means that it's there. Now to preview it, just go ahead and click the preview button and you'll see that the Facebook Faces widget has shown up on our site. Now you may not see that in the customization page, but it is there on the live page. And again, you can make sure by clicking the preview button. Now when one of your customers gets to this page, if they don't currently like your Facebook page, they can click the like button right here and they will automatically be connected and like your Facebook page. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on. The next page is the sharing page. This is the page where your customers will actually start sharing your deal with others. And again, it's the same. Pick the theme that you like the best. Click next or click the customize tab at the top. And you can go through each of the sections that have the dotted lines, an image container and the text containers, and you can make modifications. Now, what we didn't do in any of the other pages was talk about adding personalization by using variables that exist inside the system once somebody is actually logged into the system. So let's go ahead and do that now. As you can see, it's actually, we've done that here in this place. Who would you like to share with in the customer's first name? But just so you can see how you do it, we'll go ahead and do it up here. So we're going to click the edit button and we're going to remove thanks for your business. And let's go ahead and just remove everything so we have enough room. Let's say thanks for your business, comma, and then let's add the customer's name. Come on over here to the variables, click the button, and any variable that is appropriate, meaning that we have the data at that time to populate that variable, shows up in the drop-down. So in other words, if you were on the welcome page, the customer information would not be there because at the welcome page, we don't know who the customer is yet. So we can put customer first name, click submit, and as you can see, it's populated. Now, it's pre-populated with a default font and a default size. So in order to match, you'll need to highlight it, select on the font. Oh, that's not the right font. Let's go ahead and select on Verdana. And let's try and match the size. Oh, and I think it's also bolded. And now it looks the same. Actually, it doesn't look the same. I think it looks a little bit off. Let's go ahead and let's make it all a little smaller so it fits in that spot. There we go. Okay, and there we go. If the information falls outside the container box, then you'll want to make it smaller so that it stays inside the container box so that it doesn't go over the picture that's next door to it. Now, I just want to point out one other thing, that the system is populated with some of the variables, but some variables that you may want to work with inside are the number of people that your customers need to share with, the number of purchases that need to be made to reach their incentive, the customer incentive, and the referral incentive. As long as that is populated correctly on the program details page, you can use these as variables inside your text. All right, I'll go ahead and cancel out of that. And there are certain sections that you can't customize. For example, the counter is not a customized field. And this is just showing you an example of how the shares will show up on this page. The person's name, their email address, and an icon to show whether or not they've actually opened their email or not. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the last page, which is the thank you page. And there's very little customization on the thank you page, but this is a really great place to link your customer back to your website, and we recommend that, as well as to put in the variable of what your sharing site address is. So encouraging people to log back into your site to share again, but on this page, go ahead and reminding them what the URL is. Now that's the entire web page, but we do have 2 emails that we need to customize as well. We've got the sharing incentive email, which is the email that goes out to the customer's friends and family announcing what your discount is. And you'll want to customize this, but you'll want to keep in mind that it's coming from your customer. So you want to write it in the first person coming from the customer. So there are 5 different design templates that you can choose from. And just as the websites are, it is pre-populated with text that you can use. So my recommendation is to read through, see what we've written, and then modify and make changes to be in your voice, okay? And also remember, keep in mind that it's coming from your customer. So it's written in our default language, kind of like a letter. I really like being a customer of your company, and right now they're running a great promotion and they're letting me share it with you, okay? You can also send a test email. Now, in a free trial mode, you can only send a test email to the email address that you've signed up with. However, once you reach a paid subscription, you can send a preview test email to anybody you want. Just a good practice is to send a test email to different email clients like Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo. Now, we have actually done that testing already to our default with our default images and our default text and tested them out in each of those popular email clients. But if you've made lots of changes, then you want to make sure that you do that as well. And then you want to finish up by going over here to the settings. Now in the customer incentive email, the only setting you need to modify is the subject line. However, the from email address, from name, the from email address, and the reply email address will all be the customer's information who has shared this with their friend. Not the same though with the customer incentive email. Again, there are 5 templates to choose from. They are the same 5, so you can either make them look the same or you can make them look different. You can also send a preview test. You can customize just as you've done with everything else. But on the settings page, you have a few more things that you need to fill out because now you get to select the subject line, the from name, the email address, and the reply email. Now the from email address and all the other information is pre-populated with your sign-up information, but you can change this to anything. I mean, this can be from the marketing department or however, or it could just be from Sally. Then the from email, the only email that's available when you first get here is the email that you've signed up with because you validated it when you subscribed. However, if you want to add another email address, click Add Another Email Address. Put in the email address that you want to validate. We'll go ahead and put my Expect Referrals email address. And then you'll see that an email will get sent to that email address. You click the verification link, and then you come back and refresh the page. Let's go ahead and do that. So I have just sent my validation. Let's go down to my mail. Let's go to my Expect Referrals account. Click Get Mail. And here we go. Here's my email verification email. Click Verify. It's taking us to a different page. It opens up in a new tab, but that's okay. All we need to do is close this window, go back here, click Refresh, and our other email address has shown up. The reply email address you do not need to validate. You can put any email address that you wish. Click Save, and you're done. And that is the entire custom setup process. The entire process should take you anywhere between 15 to 45 minutes. It really depends on how much customization you're going to do, whether or not you have the images available or you need to go search for them. But it is pretty flexible, and hopefully we've made it as intuitive as possible. But as we've said before, we're here if you need any help. Click the Ask Us button, and you can either search the knowledge base, or you can ask us a question, or you can give us a call. Thank you so much, and good luck.